joining me again is the one and only Rachael Buto, an entrepreneur, manifestor, an amazing woman with 3 beautiful children, and also my co-host and best friend, Rachael Buto. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of stuff. Rachael does have a couple of interesting stories to tell us that's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. Do you want to start off with anything? Gotta crack open the Arizona first.
I really want to try this. This is like this.
I went to the store before we started recording.
Green tea and honey.
And
it's
my
favorite thing.
She wanted a raspberry. They didn't have raspberry, so I told her I always get that one. So she's trying it for the first time.
Oh, it's bomb.
It's good. That's the one I always get that one from the store.
Oh wow! I'm glad I went this way.
Yeah, it was good. I was like, you gotta try it. You can never go wrong with an Arizona.
I just walked in. Sorry, guys. I really was like dying. And it's so cold. It feels like it's almost ice. Yeah. I'm a tea person. I'm not a coffee person.
Yeah.
I love a cup of tea and I need honey. Like, if I run out, I'll even call my mother-in-law. I'm like, do you have it? Because we live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I need it. Otherwise, it's just not the same for me. I'd rather not even have a cup of tea if I can't put honey in it.
It's like, I have like this recipe, and whenever I'm sick, I always have I put sugar and honey and then a little bit of lemon in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect every time.
Yeah, and it always works. That will like always soothe you. And it's like a organic penicillin.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like,
I give it to my mom and my brother, and they're like, what is this? And I'm like, you don't get it.
Feel just a little bit better.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
And they say you should drink hot water with lemon in the mornings.
Yeah, I heard that's like really good for your body and stuff.
Yeah, I heard that too.
It is really good.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this. I'm still processing it, to be honest with you. I'm really uncomfortable about it, and traumatized is the word, and not even to be overdramatic. Like, it was traumatizing.
When I heard it, I was like, I can't wait to hear her perspective on it, because
I didn't want to talk about it, also, for the record. I didn't. I'm going to throw this out there. I don't even know if maybe he already did say. Did he say last night that I didn't want to talk about it?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, yeah.
He said, quotes, "The world needs to know."
So after this went down, I can't even think about it without taking my breath away. It was really bad. I called him and he was on his way here. Well, he was on his way here when the situation occurred. Mm-hmm. He had to rush home and then he came back. So on his way back, I called him and I said, please don't talk about this in the podcast. Please don't. Because, where anything goes, real deal Holyfield, it's going to come. We're good with it. We're very transparent anyways. Yeah. So that's not hard for us to do, to be authentic with that. But I was like, this was something that I was so shaken up with that I was like, what I said to him, I said, please don't bring this up on the podcast. And he was like, I have to. Immediately, I have to.
Yeah, that's his first.
And so I didn't freak out. I was like, calmly, I'm asking you to please not bring this up on the podcast. And he was like, I have to do it. And then that's when I was like, I'm not going to get in an argument with my husband over something that he feels he respects me enough. We have such a strong friendship and bond and marriage and respect that if he asks something of me, say less. Yeah. It doesn't even need to be said twice, and vice versa. Okay. So if I ask him, please do not share this, it goes unsaid. So for him to say I have to, and then say it again, I have to, after I said nicely, please can you not? I was like, I'm not going to fight with him. I said, okay, I just don't want some people to laugh at something that made me cry. That I was traumatized with. There's no way people are going to hear this story. More than likely, 95% of people will laugh at it. There will be the few people that will be super judgmental and be like, what the fuck? But for the most part, people will probably laugh. Yeah. But for me, I was literally traumatized. I still am. I'm shaking even thinking about it. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it was funny for you to hear.
It was, at first when I heard it, I was like, What was Rachel's reaction? Well, that was the first, because I know how you are, and I know how her mind works, and I bet she was freaking running around in a million circles trying to figure out everything.
I want to really have him pull the cameras back almost. I don't really want to watch them. I don't want to relive it like that.
Crazy.
But I almost like want him to see what it was. That's what I told him. I said, for you that little bit of time that you were I was on that call with you, nervous. I was
before that
10 minutes before I even placed that call.
Exactly.
So imagine like how I was feeling. And he was like, I know you went through it longer, but I still felt the same thing.
And I feel like, you know how you said like 95% are gonna laugh and the 5% are gonna like probably like take it in consideration. You just have to know the feeling.
They're coming.
There's like, it's like you have to know, because if you're a mother, you're in this position and you're like, shit, like you don't know, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just like that instinct.
So yeah, the story is that Cassiana is attached to Joe like no other. And I even said to him yesterday morning, the way that everything has to be the same. She even has to wear the same pajamas as him sometimes. Like, it is next level. But Gibelle was the same way at 3 years old. Melania was the same way. They were all three. And he's so whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I thought about it after this happened yesterday. I thought about it. I said, God definitely gave us girls for a reason. Because he's so kind and gentle and whatever they say, and he's really their king.
Yeah.
He really is, and I'm chopped liver, and I'm always the bad cop, and I always will
he goes, Rachel says, don't look at her, don't smile at her, don't even laugh at her. And I was like,
do not let her think for a second this is funny. I said, don't even make a call and tell anyone.
Yep.
Sit in dead silence until you get home. It's that serious.
Yep.
And so... yeah, what was I don't even know where I was at.
You were telling the story leading up to what happened.
I know, I don't know where. I was saying how he's so gentle with them, and I see him with like his nephews and with like, you know, other kids, and he's like rough with them and tough with them, and like, you know, I feel like he would be so much rougher, and like the expectations that we have. You see how he is.
Yeah, I do.
You know, with the girls, with sports and stuff like that. You know, if it was a boy, I feel like their relationship would be different. Maybe he wouldn't be king of the world. Maybe he would be the bad cop.
Yeah,
and I would be the good cop.
It's different
for once. Maybe that's how it would be. I really think there is a true dynamic where mama's boys and daddy's girls. And I'm so blessed that he's that for them. But it's next level, and at this age right now, it's an obsession. She's infatuated with him. Yeah. So he was leaving to come to the podcast. She hears about the podcast all the time. She doesn't know what it is. She's very curious, and he left to go leave. I'm cleaning. It's Gibelle's birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday. I literally am here on Gibelle's birthday. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Commitment.
Yeah, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I did the things I needed to do, shower, got ready. Then I rushed to the store to get flowers and cards. It's also Shawnee's birthday. Happy birthday, Shawnee.
Oh, happy birthday.
They're birthday twins, which is like super special. And there's like so much to that birth story. Maybe one day we'll talk about. So, I wanted to get her flowers and her cards and stuff for her, and then get that out of the way. And then I had another pickup for Giabella, a gift that was like the last one left. It was the backpack.
The North Face. I have it over there. Yeah.
Your dad told me you had the same one, which I'm like,
in
of
black.
course. I told you, I go, they're so in sync. They would like the same bag. Of all the backpacks in the world, of all the brands, even the Nike ones, even like the Jordan ones, like you guys picked the same one. Like it's and she does not know that what your backpack is. So they're just different colors, but it was just bizarre, and it was the last one. So I waited. I had and I went there this morning. I had to leave. I pulled up. I got there at 8:50. They open at 9. Like that's so crazy. By the way, and as soon as those doors opened and he was like setting up the mats, I was walking in on them, and like he was still on the floor. And I was like, excuse me, where are the North Face backpacks? Went right to the back. They weren't there, and I was like, they said it was here. I was like on point. I showed her my shit. And she's like, I'll go in the back. She comes out, and I'm like, saying my prayers while she's back there. She comes back. She has the backpack. I'm like, word, hit it home. Get there. Grab Jubel. What did she want for breakfast? I asked her, like, yesterday, like, what did you want me to make you? And she's like, I just want Dunkin' Donuts. Then I went to Dunkin' Donuts last because I wanted it to be hot and warm. And so I got all the stuff that her and all her friends that slept over wanted. Came home, laid everything out, woke them up, did presents, breakfast.
See, like, what?
And then got out, then came here. So I said, you get ready while I do this. By the time I get back, you're ready. And then we're going to, she wants to go to Aventura Mall with her friends. So she had friends sleep over last night. So I wanted the house prepared to, like, feel clean and smell clean. And like, 100%. I, like, steam cleaned the floor. Like, this is, like, no one needs to know all of this. But it was a lot. So what I was doing in the moment was, like, busy. A lot of busy work. So as he's running out of the house, he's like, he's like, you're in my house all the time. You see it. Even today, I'm getting ready, and Cassiana's in the bathtub. She likes to wake up every morning and she goes in the pool, then she wants a bath. Like, by 9:30, she has swam and taken a bath already. So my in-laws come over so they can see Jubel, give her birthday stuff. And Cassiana wants to get in the bath in the middle of it. So she's in the bath. I'm just finishing up my hair, and my husband and Joe and my father-in-law are talking about, like, major real estate deals, which, by the way, maybe they'll plug the next time. It's like that juicy.
Really?
I don't know what I can talk about. It's pretty juicy. Like, I literally said I'm getting my real estate license during this conversation. And Carol's in the bed watching me do my hair, and she goes, you know, we really should have a reality show. Cassiana's screaming in the bathroom over there. The girls are over here. You're doing your hair like nothing's going on at all. She's like, and they're over here cursing up a storm. She's like, this is so much going on. Like, people are always saying that. It's so funny.
Instead of the Kardashians, the Butos.
I think it's like a curse. I'm married for true love. I love my husband so much. I can't breathe a breath if he's not. I tell him all the time, like, I could live without you. Like, if it was what you wanted or something, whatever the case may be. But, like, if you weren't breathing, like, I can't breathe either.
Yeah. It's that connection.
Yeah, it's that deep for me. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But before we continue talking, today is sponsored by Katie Power Greens. Microgreens. We had our first little open farm the other day. It was me and my dad. And it went amazing.
Really cool. That was really cool.
It was, yeah. We got to, a lot of people came in, they got to cut their own greens, pick whatever they wanted. It was really cool. It was a cool experience.
How was the feedback on the flavors? Amazing,
so good, right? Everyone was like,
no one's expecting.
What does it taste
you get like this little. It looks like it's literally like.
It looks like
not
it's grass.
like weeds. Not even like a little bit vegetable.
Speaking of that, every time I freaking tell everyone I'm like about it, whatever, they're like, "You're growing weed." My teammate asked me that the other day. I was like, "Bro, we play soccer together. We get drug tested. Why would I be promoting this to the world? Like, are you serious?"
Crazy. I didn't even think about that.
And one of the clients that came in.
Because I knew it. Maybe because I knew what it was. If I just saw the Instagram or I was seeing it the way you're posting it, I would probably take it that way. But because Joe brought it home and I was eating it in my household before I even saw any kind of anything, I knew what it was.
Yeah,
my mind didn't go there with it.
One of the clients came in and she was like, "Yeah, I was telling my grandma about it, my mom about it," and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the farm and get the greens," and then she was like, "Is that like code word? Like, are you doing drugs?" And we were just like, "Oh my god,
so funny."
We were like,
so let's clear that up.
No.
It's actually the opposite.
No, it's the opposite. And then also, guys, Rachel is wearing it today. I am not wearing it because I've been wearing it the last 3-4 episodes. This is the new Protect merch for the first responders. One of them being of my mother. Thank you, Mom, so much. And also everyone that supports us. We appreciate the policemen, the policewoman, the firemen, the firewomen, everyone.
And they have hoodies, too.
And they have hoodies, t-shirts, hoodies, or just regular t-shirts.
They're super dope. So I'm going to be really dead-ass honest. Because they come in white also. I tried the white one on first. Because Joe was like, there's a medium and a large. I like my stuff a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
You even know.
Yeah.
You even know.
Yeah.
So I have so many freaking hoodies that you even know that.
Yeah.
So, this one's actually medium, though. I wanted it a little bit smaller. So, I put it on, and I was like, rolled my eyes back, and I was like, wow, they make the best quality. Like,
yeah,
that is like not even like bullshit anything. Like,
yeah,
how soft they are. It's like what you want. Every time I close my eye, like, I don't even know if I don't close my eyes, but it could be in the middle of the night and like I want to like change my shirt, like I'm uncomfortable or like whatever it is, and I'll go in my drawer and whatever I just feel. It's like a feel test of what I want, and it's always a respecter. It's usually the reflector.
The reflector
I
one,
love the reflector one. Oh my god, the other day I took the girls to the dentist last week, not even a week ago.
That was funny.
I went to the dentist and the lady, I'm filling out paperwork with one lady. The lady behind her goes, "Excuse me, where'd you get your shirt from?" And I was like, "I can send you the link right now." And I told her all about you. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." She goes, "I have two girls and one plays lacrosse, the other one plays flag football." And I was like, it didn't have to be soccer, you know?
Yeah,
like she just it was just a young woman athlete that she instantly was like, "I love that." And it was within our community and she wanted to support it, and it wasn't just because like of that. She didn't hear the story first and then say, "You know what, I want to support that because you should." You should. It was backwards. She was like, "That shit's dope. Where'd you get it from?" Because it actually is dope. The reflectors, I love
like
those.
Our merch isn't just for soccer players. I hope everyone knows that. Just because I play soccer doesn't mean it's just for soccer players only. It's for any athlete. It can be anything.
Even if you just work out in the gym.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be.
Literally, I see so many people in the gym, even in my neighborhood. Between like all of us that go, we have all separately seen people wearing your guys' merch in our gym, in our neighborhood.
It could be used as, I don't know.
There's a kicker. He plays on an NFL team and he's training right now. He's their kicker, and so I told him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I need a bunch of hoodies and these." He wanted the hoodie dry fit ones. I got it. By the way, I forgot. That just happened. So we need to make that happen.
Perfect. No. Rachel's definitely one of our biggest supporters. Like I said, she actually made a reel. Like Instagram made her a reel the other day, and she was in it. And literally every single video was literally in respect gear. It was absolutely amazing.
How crazy. Does yours do that for you yet?
Not yet, no.
Are you making enough reels? Yes.
Not yet, but
keep making more. Because literally, like, what it is also, too, and maybe... Do you scroll through reels? Like, how do you see reels on Instagram?
Yeah, I scroll through them.
Like, you go to the search page and you click and you just keep scrolling?
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, once you get to a point where, like, you're making enough and you're obnoxious like me and you just, like, put shit out there, just whatever the fuck it is, you don't even care. I think it's funny and I think other people might find it funny. I make an asshole of myself. I don't really care. I'm okay with it. It's fine. It usually helps my business, so that's why I do it.
Exactly.
I really do. But... you get to certain points where, like, if you hit certain things and certain numbers or whatever it is, it unlocks certain things and unlocks this, and now you can do this. And every time, like, I'll get, like, a thing, all these notifications, they're actually pretty cool. And it gets to the point where you can even get paid for them. Like, you literally are getting paid for them. So I can just get to a point, like, I wouldn't want to, like, waste the time here to do it, but if I go to mine and I just keep scrolling up enough after probably like 20 to 30 one will pop up where it's a trending audio
of
anything that's trending, like on Instagram, like an audio that's trending, and then it will be my stuff, and it'll say, "Do you want to use this to make your own?" And I'll be like, "All right, fuck it, let me see." So I go to next, and it's just a compilation of different stories that I've posted randomly. I don't know when and what they're going to choose.
Damn.
And they use a trending audio and just random shit of mine. And then sometimes I always save the draft. I could show you. I have 20 of them right now that I didn't make. Instagram makes them, Bro, but I just keep scrolling to my feeds, and so it asks me, "Oh, do you want to use this?" And it's always a trending audio, and I'm like, "Yeah." So half my drafts I haven't even made. Instagram makes them for me. So that's why I tell people, like, just put it out there. Like, it's so easy. They're making it for you. And if you don't like that audio, pick a different audio. But, like, to use a trending one helps with the algorithm and stuff. There's so much to it. It's annoying. But, yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, do that shit.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, maybe you just need to go more. Maybe you get to 10 and you're bored.
Yeah.
Like, maybe try to get to 30 and see if one pops up.
Yeah, I just gotta
It's so easy. And the way they do it is kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's easier for you,
It's different. Yeah, the way that they make them, I don't make mine like that. So I appreciate it.
Exactly. But like I said, Rachel is a big supporter, and she also has probably more merch than me.
Oh my gosh.
Because when I get merch,
I love it all.
yeah, like we were talking about it yesterday. When I get merch, I obviously when we get new merch, I pick out my size and I get it. But since I'm in college,
this a reflector?
Oh, no, this is a regular one. Yeah, this is like the OG one. When I get merch, I pick it out. But then sometimes when I leave for college, I can't pack all of my stuff. So I asked them to like try and ship it to me, but probably be sold out by the time. So then they have to sell my size.
You sold out the first day. I'm so happy.
We have to reorder like navy ones.
And you guys predicted that also too, because it's such a big deal.
Yeah, and on Friday
it really is. Like, thank you for all the first responders. Because
on Friday I got the opportunity to, I think it's Station 24 if I'm not mistaken. I get to go there and take photos with like firefighters and stuff, and they get to wear stuff. Yeah.
Did you know that my dad was a firefighter?
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He was actually the chief of Plantation, which is like the highest that you can go. He was the chief for 25 years in Plantation.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Daddy. Thank you for coming home. Actually, the reason why he's not anymore was because my mother had so many nights of him, because they have like a weird schedule. I don't know how it goes. I think it's like 3 days on, something off.
Yeah, something like that.
Someone's gonna call me out on that, but it's like a couple days, and like you don't know what's gonna happen in between. And back then, now we're talking in the 80s, like we didn't have cell phones and text messages and like shit like that. So like
exactly.
Every time my dad left for work, and because of the position, it was and it was like my sister actually made my dad like a scrapbook. She's the principal of a school. She's a school teacher, like to the max, involved in all the things. So like she would scrapbook was what I was getting at. And she made him this thing of all his newspaper clippings of him hanging from buildings, from trees, and all his rescues and the fires he put out. And so it got to a point where my mother was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't. I can't handle this.
First responders, like, the whole reason why
even their spouses and their families, like,
exactly.
Props to you.
Because they leave, they go put their body on the line for other people like us. Yeah. And you genuinely, like, I know the percentage isn't really there, but you don't know if they might come back. That's the risk of wanting to help everyone else. Like,
of course.
You never know. Especially, that's why, like I said, thank you to my mom, because sometimes when COVID was a thing, like, my mom, obviously, everyone knows she doesn't really have the strongest immune system, so she put her life on the line to help others, which is something that, like, you know, a common person wouldn't really do.
She could have touched in that time period at what was going on. She absolutely could have taken a huge backseat and been like, this is not safe.
Yeah.
And she chose to help other people.
Exactly. She loves doing that. She loves working with kids too. Like, that's her thing. I think that's where I get it from, because I love working with kids. It's
I think so too.
It's like,
yeah, you really do. You're drawn to the kids. That's why I really have always said it. You're really gonna help the youth. I have, like, in my little manifestation, like, vision board area in my room, I have a photo of you and Giabella.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, find it, so, like, maybe they can put it in. You guys look so little, and it's you guys, you're practicing in the Parkland travel fields, and it's just you two, and I hashtagged it the future, and I just leave it there because, like, one day you guys are going to have to take that picture when you're playing for the World Cup on the same team together.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that, like, that's the goal, but really, you really do inspire so much. I really think you're going to play a big role, not only in, like, your own personal career and what you're going to do and all the Nike endorsements you're going to get, but I think that, like, the role you're going to play and how many little girls are going to look up to you, like, what is that? Like, do you feel that coming? Because when you're manifesting, you also, by the way, you feel it coming.
Yeah.
You feel it coming. I can feel it coming.
I definitely,
by the way.
It's something that I definitely want to happen, especially even if it's, like, with GB, because honestly, and your kids, like, seeing them grow up, like, I've known GB since she was born, and it's, like, the evolution of her, it's absolutely amazing, and I love seeing that in kids, especially a boy or girl, I don't care. I would love to, like, just a little part and play a little role in their life. It's good enough for me.
I think that's a true coach. Her true coach, because even the true, like, the few trainers and coaches, I told you about, like, when you, and this always gets me so emotional, and it's your birthday, so, but I always tell her, like, when you get to that championship game, and you look in the stands for your family, like, your coaches and your trainers are going to be right next to us in the stands, a part of that journey, because they helped you get there. It's not going to be a short road. It's such a long ass road.
Always. I'm making a promise right now. If GBA has a championship game and I'm wherever the heck I am, I already know that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, because it's not like because I want to show support, whatever. It's because it's family.
Yeah.
Everyone always asks me who's Joe, who's Rachel. I literally say my aunt, my uncle, basically. Literally, Joe's my second dad, Rachel's my second mom. It's that.
If you got your dad's at right now, her parents are both off right now.
My mom's at work, my dad's
coming to spend the day at my house.
Exactly.
Because that's we're family. She can't be with her family, so the next household is my household.
Exactly.
That's real
the connection.
Life,
The connection that you have. That's why I love having Rachel on the show, because it's not because I don't have anyone else to bring onto the show, because I could, but I want to bring Rachel because it's a perspective and we connect together.
Because there's definitely a lot of people that you really well, I appreciate that, because I definitely know that there's a lot of people that can bring value to, that you could bring on and talk to, and I would be so happy to do it, probably wanting and willing. So, and you definitely should do that too.
Yeah, I plan on doing that, but we said the last show that we were gonna take this time to talk a little bit on manifestation, because after you said that, I started seeing 1111 a lot more, and now my mom and I text it to each other whenever we see it. It's not like we're on our phones oh my god, it just pops up and we just send it to each other and say make a wish.
The more you see those things, the more it's gonna happen too, for sure. I was thinking about that this morning when I was doing my journaling. I wanted to mention that I think is the number one most important thing is, aside from the vision, is gratitude. Mm-hmm. If you do not have gratitude, it doesn't have to be in a crazy abundance of all the little things to the extent that I go, but even if you could just write 5 things a day that you're grateful for, 5 things. If no one can find the time to do that, shame on you.
Okay, come on. You all know we have phones. You can write that on your phone.
What I have the girls do is we do a whole page of everything we're grateful for, and I literally write, I am grateful for, and I do a whole full page of that in my journal. And then the next page is the things that I want and the goals that I have, and it's I am grateful, and I write it in present tense as if I already have it. As if I have it right now, it's like I wrote the page before of all the things I'm grateful for, so that it's already happening. The universe knows, this is already in work, get this going. So I have the girls also do that too, and little things like Jibbo. I remember a couple months back when we were journaling again, and she said, I said she wrote, I said maybe write, I'm so grateful to have my braces off, and she goes, no, I'm so grateful to have my braces off with perfectly straight teeth, and I was like, then write that.
That's
right
true.
that.
Because
she got her braces off and they're perfectly straight.
There's some people that get their braces off and their teeth still look.
But that's where I have also taught her with that mindset to be specific, like we talked about last time. If you ask, I just need to pay my bills this month, then you're just gonna pay your bills.
You have to be specific with what you want.
Yeah, you gotta be really specific with that. But gratitude is huge, huge, huge. You have to show gratitude. I also think if you could not touch your phone, I think it's super difficult probably for most Americans, specifically Americans, but and it took me a while, but I did train myself. I won't touch my phone until I've already gone through in my head everything I'm grateful for. Everything I'm gonna write, I say in my head along with my prayers. I say all the things I'm grateful for, even the little things from my AC to the bed I'm in. All those things before my feet touch the ground. Before I can't even look. I'm not looking. I'm on Instagram. I'm not looking at this thing. Oh look, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's
crazy. I just screenshotted it.
Toddy, the chocolate malt in a can.
It's so good hot. It's so good cold.
It hits the spot with young and old.
Yes, toddy pleases everybody. Delicious chocolate malted toddy, made with rich, real milk, not powdered milk.
So come and get it, everybody. It's time to drink your chocolate toddy.
Mmm, delicious.
The universe makes no mistakes.
Absolutely
It
no
really
mistakes.
makes
That's
no
crazy. She
mistakes.
just picked up her phone and it was 1, 2, 3. That's insane.
It's crazy. So, yeah.
My mom.
Like, that just says a lot.
That
right
was
there.
good. That was good. That was like perfect timing too. You know, whatever.
You have to be grateful. Like, that was just validation on, like, you have to be grateful. But I don't, even before I can, like, get distracted and my mind busy or frustrated or have my energy go somewhere else, I want to, like, pay, like, homage to everything that I'm grateful for. That, like, my body, even I am always grateful for, like, my body, for, you know, sleeping well and for my body functioning and doing all the things and my organs flowing and working properly the way that they need to, and my body getting the rest so that I can wake up and move. I'm grateful to get up and move and function to take care of my children and do what they need to be present for them and be able to, you know, do a lot for them. I'm grateful that they wake up in safe, happy, healthy homes, that I wake up for food that I could feed them. Just like those little things.
Grateful for the little things.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people take that into like, oh, I have food. Oh, that's a given. You know, like there's some
for food every day.
There's some people out there that don't like have what we have, and you know, that's why I feel like I always want to like give back to certain people, because like I've been to like DR.
Big goal.
I've been to Dominican Republic.
So you know.
You see kids on the streets like playing with, like riding a bike, playing outside, and then you come back to the States. You don't see that anymore. You don't.
It pulls on your heartstrings. It makes you want. That's another thing about you that I know that you're going to go far places, because you are going to have that side of you, that charitable side of you that wants to give back.
Yeah, like if my friends are playing outside and I don't have to
you
be on my phone.
You might even go and adopt a child that won't let go of your legs.
Yo,
I wouldn't.
Honestly, I'm open to like anything. Like if whoever I'm with in the future, like I would do something like that, even if it's like hard to do. And I feel like that my parents would be super opening to it as well, because my parents would love the fact, because my parents love what I do. If I'm helping someone, like the other day I was sitting on the couch and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get up and go help those people over there. And I texted my dad, he was like, okay, no problem. Like my parents are gonna support any decision that I make as long as it's in the right direction.
Yeah, always.
And I'm letting you guys know, I promise you, Rachel being a mother and Joe being a dad and my mom being a mom and my dad being a dad, I promise you, if they tell you one thing and you think, oh my god, they're wrong, they have probably been through it 10 times more than you have at your age. And I only figured that out once I'm getting older and older, that like they were right all the time, and all they want to do is just support you and help you and lead you in the right direction.
Yeah, I had to give Jibal that talk the other day and let her know, like, I would be failing you as a mother if I didn't, because she's doing early morning training, soccer we talked about, and you know, so that means like when all her friends are having a sleepover and she's got to get up at 6:30 in the morning, she can't get up at 6:30 in the morning at a friend's house. I would go get her and at 6 a.m. and do it. She prefers to be home rested in bed. Waking up, that's what she prefers. So she takes the sacrifice to not have the sleepover, even though I'll sacrifice going and getting her earlier.
Priorities.
She just prefers to be that way. So last week when it came and we were making her schedule for this week, and she was like, oh, and it's her birthday week, so she wanted, and I was like, no, we're not going to budge on the days it's going to be. And I had to tell her, like, I would be failing you as a mom if I didn't do these things to help get you to a place to get your skills higher and build your confidence and you know.
Sacrifices like that at a young age, you know, in the moment you're like, oh my god, but I want to have that sleepover, I want to go to that birthday party, I want to go to that party. I promise you, the birthday parties are still going to be there when you're 19, 20 years old, because I look back on it, I didn't go to a single prom or homecoming or whatever because of soccer, and I was like, you know, after a while I was like, it's fine, you know, I'm used to it. But looking back on it, I'm like, what would I have done? Dressed up and then danced in heels for 20, 30 minutes, sat down, and half of the people that I was friends with back then, I'm not even friends with now, so what the heck is the point? Like, there was no point. Like, I was at Giabella's party.
But in that moment, you think it's the everything.
The world, the absolute world.
Yeah.
And I talk about it with my mom and my dad all the time, and they're like, you remember when you wanted to go to that? You're not even friends with them. And I'm like, you really have to bring that up?
Yeah,
are you serious? You really have to bring that up? But no, I was at G-Bella's birthday party, and my friend Alice was there too. And we saw she had so many friends there, and I was like, yo, like, this is cool. Like, I've never had this before. Like, this is insane. So I pulled G-Bella aside, and I was like, let me ask you a real question. I know you don't have to answer this question honestly, but I'm asking you. Right now, with all these friends in this house, who do you think is actually going to still be your friend in the next 5 years?
Did you ask her?
I asked her that question, and she looked around. She was like, I don't know. I was like,
Ooh.
think about it.
Yeah.
Because I was in the same boat. My parents used to ask me that question all the time because I went to IMG, so I had a lot of friends around the world. And they were like, look, like, who do you really think is going to be your friend?
Yeah.
And I chose
No
two
matter
people.
where you go.
And those two people are still my best friends. One lives in Maryland and one lives 10 minutes away from me.
If you can make a long distance friendship work like that, like
I haven't
at a young
seen my
age,
best friend in almost 4 years.
Then it's more normalized. Young, like you carry that on.
Exactly. I haven't seen my best friend Maddie. Shout out to Maddie. I haven't seen her in almost 4 years.
Oh wow! What
4
years
years.
That's gonna be? When will you see her again?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask my parents if in
Make
2 weeks
that happen,
she's
guys.
gonna go to Florida. She's coming to Florida, but she's going to like the Bradenton side, and me and my best friend that live here. She's also we're like a trio.
You can make that drive.
I can make that drive.
You
So
can do
I asked
that.
my parents if I'm gonna ask my parents if me and her can go over there for the weekend. So hopefully, but I don't want to.
Please.
Yeah, I don't want to like spoil anything or get my hopes high, but that would be amazing because we only have pictures of us when we were like 15, 16, and we definitely have evolved from that.
Oh, you guys need to link up.
Yeah,
That's
I'm excited.
Be such a great reunion.
I know.
All right, I want to share. I know. I feel like at this point we're getting yelled at with time, so I don't want to not finish the story with Cassiana.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm cleaning away for hours and hours and hours in the zone, and Joe's watching Cassiana and Melania and taking care of them while I'm literally going to town on the house. Joe has to leave for the podcast now. At this time, she's so super attached to him that he leaves. I'm clean, and he tells me I'm leaving for the podcast. Okay, normally she just walks by, Daddy kisses him. It's very like part of their routine. Kisses him, then she likes to close and lock the door. She has to be the one to lock the door. So I'm in the kitchen cleaning and sweeping and mopping floors, and I'm assuming that's what she did as he closes the door and leaves, like he does every day.
Yeah.
She follows him out, sneaks in his car, hides in the back of his car. On the floor, not in a car seat, so please keep your negative judgments to yourself because this was not something that we did as parents, so I don't need any like kind of any negativity.
Yeah.
She hides in the back seat of his car, truly hides.
Yeah.
Like a mafia, like gangster, like setting you up. He told me I think she was like not even breathing fully because I couldn't even hear her breathe. Like she tried to hide it, and it wasn't even like for him to get in the car and then scare him. She said she wanted to go to the podcast.
She wanted to go to the podcast? Oh,
that was her reason.
Oh my God.
So she's in his car. He's on the way here. He has no idea. I'm looking. Within 30 seconds, he leaves that I'm Cassiana. I don't hear anything. Cassiana, I start looking. Sometimes she like plays games, hiding games. So I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, Melania, is Cassiana in here? No. I'm like, I don't know. So I'm looking. I'm looking the house. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, Melania, help me. And now I'm like getting like my tones like I'm like, Cassiana, you're gonna be in trouble. Like you're gonna have to go in timeout if you don't come out now. I'm ripping out at this point. I'm ripping curtains open. I'm ripping pillows off my bed. I'm in the closet. I'm going like checking out like where weapons, gun safes are. I'm like literally I'm like doing the most. I ripped my closet apart. Like anything that she could have been hidden in, like with Chloe hiding through the hangers of clothes that like she's done before, stuff like that. Cabinets. Ripped every cabinet in every bathroom, showers. I ran outside, inside. Obviously went to the pool first. Ruled that out because that's even though she's a wonderful swimmer. I just don't care. Like she and everywhere that I'm out front, I'm out back. Like that's why I'm like if he ran the cameras, he sees how many times I'm going out back. And by the time I'm running outside looking for her, thinking she's not in the household, and now I'm thinking like my mind went, someone snatched her. Like, she
Yeah.
went outside and someone snatched her. That was my first thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
Please don't judge me on that either. I have a crazy mind, but that was,
Yeah.
if he walked out, to my mind, like, he didn't have her. And she definitely was not in this house.
Yeah.
And she wasn't within the cul-de-sac. I'm running around, like, screaming at this point, to give you perspective, I'm in hysterics at the top of my lungs, screaming, Enasia'S Buto, where are you? Like, like screaming bloody murder, and nowhere. So I finally like rush. I'm like, Melania, find my phone. I never know where the fuck my phone is. So apologizing to everyone that I never answer. And she comes and I call Joe and I'm like, do you have Enasia'S? And he's like, no. And I'm like, I can't find her. And I like, as soon as he says no, I lose my shit even more. And I'm like, and he's like, look here. I'm like, I did. He's like, look here. I'm like, I did. I go, I looked everywhere that you were saying before I even called you. I wouldn't have I knew you were going to the podcast. I wouldn't have interrupted you. Like, he's like, I'm like, Melania's been helping me. He's like, tell her to look outside. I go, we went outside 100 times. Like, I'm losing my mind, you guys. Losing my mind. Literally can't breathe. I'm ready to hang up on Joe so I can call 911. And losing my mind. And then he goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what? Like, what?
Yeah, like, finish your sentence.
She's in the back seat. She's in the fucking back seat of my car. Oh my God. And I'm like, and that's when I go, bring her home now. Do not say a word. Don't you laugh. Don't you smile. Don't you let her think for 1 second this is funny, acceptable, can ever occur again.
Yep.
You let her know as soon as she gets home, mommy will be waiting at the door just like the fuck I was, like a psycho. And I took her right in her room. We went in her room. We sat her down on her bed. And I literally, I didn't like purposely cry to make her feel bad. I couldn't control my emotions. I was so happy once to see her and know she was like safe and okay. I needed to like touch her and squeeze her, but I needed her to like know what she did was wrong. So I literally just spoke to her and I said, Mommy was so scared that I lost you forever. And I would never see you again. And then she started crying and she's like, now I'm sad, Mommy, because you thought you wouldn't see me ever again, and then I wouldn't see you ever again, and like it registered. It was registering. Like, had I freaked out in that moment and like thrown her in timeout and yelled and screamed, like it wouldn't have registered. Like she registered in a way where she was like, oh no, like
she realized what she did.
I needed her to realize it, and it was really bad. So then I let her sit in time. I said, so you're gonna stay here. You're gonna sit here, and Mommy's gonna go sit right here because I'm sad, and I just like let her know like I'm gonna be right here, but you're gonna have to stay here for a couple minutes, and I need you to think about what you did and how you're never gonna do that again, and I need her to send her those thoughts, you know, even at a young age. Like, I delivered it in a way where she could sit in them, and she said, okay, Mommy, and I walked out, and I closed the door, and I let her sit there.
And shout out to Rachel, because, like, being a mother, and then, like, instead of just, like you said, instead of just, like, hounding her and being like, what are you doing, screaming at her, and then making her feel bad, and then she's, like, in her corner, like, also.
I have my moments.
You spoke to her, calmed her down.
I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect.
We're all far from perfect, but that's just like a good mother moment. Like, you just realized you were happy you got to see her again, and then you were like, look, like, you can't do this, like, ever.
And Asia, that was like not even like kind of funny. That was really fucking scary. Not okay shit.
Yeah, like my first reaction when
I told Joe, when he called me, I literally dead ass told him, I go, I'm taking her to the pediatrician. I'm taking her to the pediatrician.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is how can she think that would be okay?
Yeah.
Like, it was concerning for me, and it was scary for me, and it was just like, oh, way too much.
Yeah.
And so I was shaken up for a while. Like, it threw my whole mood off for like hours and hours. I was even at like a couple hours later, like Jibba was like, Mommy, are you okay? And I was like, I'm okay. Like, I didn't want her to like worry and stress about me. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm like,
It's just
I'm
still,
just still
processing.
I'm just still like all like scared and shaken up with like what happened with Cassiana. Like I couldn't shut it off. Like the switch, like even though like it was done, we handled it, we were moving on. Like it was still really loud in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like
it takes you a minute to
in my house
like that.
with Cassiana, with Joe, like the way we handled it, like the light switch was off, we put it to bed. But to me, like
it's still.
it was a loud raving party that was like not ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so I was like still kind of carrying it, and I think Jabel like felt that, which is like something I also really try as a mom is like to turn off those emotions and like make sure like I have those boundaries of like when I'm around my kids and like the energy that I carry, because they really can feel that shit. And
yeah, that's what my mom says. She says whenever she has a bad day at work, she tries her hardest like when she comes home to like
make sure you
be happy and like, you know, but sometimes
because energy transfer is really
just
really
knowing
real.
having the connection with my mom, seeing that I just know like
you
had a shit day at work, like you know,
you just know.
Yeah.
And so like even with Jabel, like, and I was doing things to like prep them, get them ready, and like to my knowledge, she wouldn't think anything was wrong at all. And
we know.
Right, yeah,
we know.
She saw right through.
We know.
She saw right.
And vice versa, parents always know when their child, something's wrong with their child or something like that, or something's up. I swear I can walk in the house and not say a word to my mother. I'll just breathe heavily and she'll be like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, what? How did you know? I didn't even say anything.
I know. Oh yeah, forget it. But yeah, when I asked her, because I was, like I said, I was in a conversation, even though she's capable of having a conversation, so we're gonna have a conversation. So I said, when I asked her, why did you do that? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
And she said, I wanted to go to the podcast with Daddy. That was the answer.
That's crazy. Well, maybe she'll go next time.
And then, so when I called Joe, and I was like, please, like, I would really like it to not to talk about this. Like, I don't want people to laugh about something that had me almost, like, put in, like, a mental institution over, no. Like, I really was, like, so uncomfortable with it. But, you know, like, here now I'm talking about it, too.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no
no
hiding that. But when he said that, he told me, he was like, you should have just kept driving and bring her and just brought her on the podcast.
Yeah,
and
but then like, he said Rachel was, like, freaking out. And I was like, yeah, take her home.
Yeah,
My reaction was...
I needed her back.
Because being the only woman in the room.
It wasn't like, listen, guys, it also, too, let me just throw in, it wasn't like he took, like, a fucking, like, 3-hour drive and, like, it was a major road. It was all of, like, maybe, like, 6 minutes. I don't know. We probably do the math of when he walked out of the door and out of the cameras and when I called him. It wasn't like a crazy long time where she was in so much danger, but like it was long enough.
Yeah,
it's
she
long
was
enough
looking
when you're
and
a
then
mom
like
and you turn your like. It was long enough. Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, that is coming to an end for Enasia'S couch. Thank you again for Rachel and all her stories. Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday, Jubella.
Happy birthday, GB and
Thank you
Johnny.
for having me, and Johnny, happy birthday.
And yet again, this video is sponsored by Katie Power Greens. You guys can go get your microgreens at katiepowergreens.com. And also, you can get all your merch at enasia'scolon.com. Also, the new Protect stuff. And thank you guys so much, and we're going to see you on the next episode. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you, Rachel.
I see you later.